This is where my small life began, in the arms of a woman I never knew. I was born at the Haven, a Salvation Army home that cares for young women and children with love and without discrimination. Many women come here to give birth to babies they can't keep because they are victims of abuse, too young or too poor. The home also takes in orphans and children whose parents can't care for them. Growing up at the Haven, I always felt loved. The officers looked after me and took me home over the holidays. I always had lots of other kids to play with. For many years, it never even occurred to me that I didn't have a family. When it was time for primary school, I moved to the Salvation Army's Dehiwala Children's Home. I worked hard on my studies and accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior when I was 8 years old. I went on to complete high school and received good results. I made great friends and was well cared for, but I always felt a void in my life, a deep pain of rejection. After I graduated, I worked as a typist before returning to the Salvation Army as an employee. Things began to change. I searched for answers in the scriptures, and God confirmed again His calling upon my life. I was His precious child. I accepted my calling and entered the Officer Training College as a member of the Crusaders for Christ session. As an officer, I have been able to serve God in various appointments and see how these programs change lives. My husband Nihal and I are now honored to be territorial leaders of India's Southwestern Territory and serve the Lord with all we have. Today, as I think about my life in the Army's care, I recall with fond memories the faces of the many people who supported, loved, and cared for me. Through them, God gave me hope. I was never abandoned.
The Salvation Army is changing lives here in Sri Lanka. The heartwarming story of Rahini shows how the programs here in Colombo are helping the most vulnerable. It's an inspiring story of an orphaned baby who grew up through the Salvation Army's children's homes and became a wonderful woman of God, and who is now a territorial leader. Dehiwala is just one of the 180 children's homes that the Salvation Army runs around the world, that is home to more than 7,000 vulnerable children. Services like these would not be possible without the support of people like you. Please give generously this self-denial appeal. Will you commit to 1 week's salary to help change lives?